Happy Monday, guys. How are you? Welcome into a very special edition of the Daily Juice podcast. It is our March Madness Spectacular. Buckle up, boys and girls, because this is going to be a longer podcast than normal. What I have decided to do here is, well, I've made 9 bets so far on the NCAA tournament. I'm going to give you 9 plays for the NCAA tournament. I'm not going to have anything for Monday, okay? This is the podcast. I'm going to take a break from official plays on Monday. I'm going to let you guys look at the bracket and make some bets and plays, and you can fade or follow these picks. But we've got a lot to talk about. I'm not going to go in depth into every game, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a thought as to why I've made the bet, why I picked the side that I did, and what I'm looking at that led me to pick this game. So, as I said, 9 bets. They're all a half a unit. It is our bracket spectacular. We've got a ton to talk about today. So let me just quickly start with the bracket, okay? If you guys want to be a part of the BettingPros bracket spectacular, this is very simple. We talked about it a bit last night. BettingPros.com/bracket, okay? BettingPros.com/bracket. My bracket is up in this thing, all right? So here's what we are doing. It's free, $2,500 in prizes from FanDuel to the top 20 scores. Additional prizes from Pristine Auction, a first place Shaq signed Laker jersey, second place Giannis signed Bucks jersey, third place John Calipari signed Kentucky Wildcat jersey. Also, a top Daily Juice listener will also win a signed Dennis Rodman Bulls jersey on top of all the other prizes that we just talked about. If a Daily Juice listener is the top overall scorer, they win the FanDuel credit. They'll win a Shaq jersey and a Rodman signed jersey. We'll also have some other Daily Juice swag to be given out as well. The link for Juice listeners to get into the bracket challenge, bettingpros.com/bracket. There's also the free bracket optimizer, part of that link as well, for you guys to be a part of doing this, okay? So it's very fun, very cool. We've got that for you. We've got a ton of things happening with Omaha Steaks. They are back, okay? Omaha Steaks is back. This is where we're getting more attention, more sponsors, more people involved. We've got FanDuel involved with our bracket challenge. We got BetMGM involved here with us. We've got Omaha Steaks involved with the podcast. More on Omaha Steaks here in just 1 second. And we're doing the fundraiser, okay? Day 1, a cracking success for us here. We're going for 500 orders to raise $5,000 to celebrate 5 million listens to the Daily Juice podcast. So, day 1, 125 orders. We're a fifth of the way there. Very cool. Very cool. One thing that's important, okay, one little note. SweetCsBakery.com is sweet, the letter C, S, bakery.com. I was asked that like 10 times yesterday. Sweet C, letter C, S, bakery.com. That's the website. Daily Juice fundraiser, click on it. Okay. You will pick to either pick up your cookies in Illinois or have them shipped to you. One of the 2 options. You'll get an invoice. You must pay the invoice. If you don't pay the invoice, no cookies. No cookies, no money. No money for the charity. That's not going to work. Okay. A bunch of you did it last year, so you're used to it. So you've paid that invoice, but just be looking for that in your email. We don't want to be chasing you guys around. I don't want TJ and Cecilia chasing you for invoices. Okay. If you've said yes, you want cookies, look for the invoice. You'll get the invoice. 2 big cookies, 1 basketball, 1 Daily Juice, 5 million, and a bunch of other really cool cookies, assorted cookies from the great folks at Sweet C's Bakery. First day, 125 orders. That's $1,250 raised. We're a fifth of the way there after 1 day, 6 more days of the fundraiser. Please, please, please help us raise money for the Ronald McDonald House as we are trying to hit our goal of $5,000 to get there. Second annual Daily Juice fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald House, national charity, which helps families. If you don't know what Ronald McDonald House does, families who have a sick child in the hospital, they get to stay close to their child. I've been there, okay? If your kid's in the ICU, you don't want to go to a hotel. You don't want to go home. You want to be there in case something happens overnight. You can't leave your kid. It's like impossible. Like you're not leaving your kid I wasn't going to leave my kid when she was on a ventilator and didn't breathe on her own for 6 days. Okay. I slept 100 yards from my kid for 2 weeks for free. Anything I can do to raise money for this charity, I will do for the rest of my life. I will try to raise as much money as possible for the Ronald McDonald House for what they did for me and my family. Please help us hit this goal of $5,000, and you get some kick-ass cookies too. I mean, on top of that, you're going to love the cookies. They're phenomenal cookies that are coming from Sweet C's Bakery. Okay. Website, Sweet C's, letter C, S, bakery.com. Keep the orders coming. Let's get to 500. We're at 125. Get to 500. Let's do it here. Okay. So I'm breaking this up. 4 bets and 5 bets. Okay. 4 bets, 5 bets. 4 bets. Then I'm going to tell you about Omaha Steaks and 5 bets. Okay. So let's start with the first bet of the entire tournament. Let's start on Wednesday. Bryant and Wright State. This is going to be an absolute barn burner of a game. Okay. Line is 2. Total is 151.5. Bryant and Wright State, run. Bryant is 16-14 to the over this year. They're 11-5. 11-5 away from home. Over. Wright State, 18-15. 13-6 to the over. Last 10, the numbers have caught up with Bryant. Bryant's been a little bit of a betting favorite. The books have started to juice their totals up just a little. They're 1-4 over the last 5, 4-6 over the last 10, but Wright State is 3-2 over the last 5 and 7-3 over the last 10 to the over. KenPom sees this game as a 80-79 win for Bryant. Or sorry, no, as a win for Wright State, excuse me. That's 159. 159. We're talking about offenses that can run, offenses that can shoot threes, teams that like to jack threes. Look, Wright State and Bryant, this is going to be an interesting matchup because it's in Dayton. It's going to be interesting. People have talked about betting the under in the first half of these games, but I think defensively, these two teams aren't that good. In terms of adjusted efficiency defensively, Wright State is 262. Bryant is 218. Not great. You look at effective field goal percentage, Wright State, really good. Top 100 in effective field goal percentage. They're a team that likes to shoot, run and shoot 2s and 3s. Top 55 in 2-point field goal percentage. Free throw percentage, they're really good. They hit their free throws, which is huge. So does Bryant. Bryant shoots a ton of threes. They don't hit a ton of them, but they shoot a lot of them. They attempt 43 3-pointers, or 43 shots a game, 3-pointers attempted per game. So they're in the top 40 for that. They shoot 32 3-pointers a game. That's pretty decent. I'm going over. Bryant, Wright State, 151.5. Over 151.5 for a half a unit. All right. That game on Wednesday. Then we move to Thursday. Thursday, we've got 3 bets. Let's start with my favorite bet of the entire first round of the tournament. Arkansas up against Vermont. This number opened up at 4.5, moved to 5.5 quickly, went down, back down to 4.5, and then went right to 6.5, and it came back down to 5.5. Okay. I bet this at 5.5. It's widely available. Arkansas minus 5.5. Total is set at 139.5. Vermont is 19-13 ATS. Vermont over their last 10, 7-3. Arkansas 20-13. They are 7-3 over their last 10. Arkansas 10-5 against the number away from home, but 8-9 for UVM. Guys, Vermont plays in a garbage conference. I mean garbage. It is, you can't look at any of these numbers. Everything for Vermont is inflated. Everything. Okay? Everything. Arkansas has played in the most difficult conference. In my opinion, I think the SEC was the most difficult conference in college basketball this season. Okay. Take your Big 10, take your Big 12, top to bottom. The SEC was the best conference in America this season. Okay. And Arkansas was incredible this year. Arkansas beat Auburn. Arkansas beat Alabama. Arkansas beat Kentucky. Arkansas beat Tennessee. Arkansas beat so many good teams. The level of skill Note is going to score 40, okay? Vermont is not going to be able to do anything. This is a double-digit win minimum for Arkansas. I'm sorry. I'm not buying this. Look out for Vermont. Why? Because they're in Buffalo. Are you kidding me? Dumbest thing I've heard in a long time. The Catamounts play in Burlington, Vermont. There's like 3,000 fans that are diehard UVA fans that might drive to Buffalo, okay? Might. Arkansas doesn't care about this. Arkansas has gone on the road to Rupp. They've gone on the road to Florida, to Tennessee, to like real hard environments, difficult places to play. On a neutral court, they're not going to struggle in Buffalo, New York with Catamount fans yelling at them, okay? I'm sorry. This UVM team played, Maryland, Baltimore County, who has a 5'2" point guard. 5'2" point guard. Yeah, they beat him by 39, and they beat Binghamton by 32, and they beat NJAT by 39. Okay, we bet them in the final of the American East. I get it. They're going to kill America East teams. They've not played anyone the caliber of Arkansas this season. Nobody. Their most difficult game this year was against Yale. I'm serious. Colgate, maybe. They beat Colgate by 10. They lost by 10 to Providence on the road. They beat Yale by 8. They lost to Maryland by 11. They beat Northern Iowa by 14. First game of the season. That's it. Anybody like Auburn on this schedule? Anybody like Alabama? Anybody like Kentucky? Anybody like Tennessee? Anybody like LSU? I mean, they don't even have like a Missouri on their schedule. Arkansas all day. -5.5. Give me the Razorbacks. -5.5 here. Half a unit for Arkansas. Okay, next bet's on Thursday. Let's talk about an interesting game. This is really wild. Michigan and Colorado State. Number opened at 3.5. I missed the first number. It's all the way down to 2.5. I bet 3. I still like 2.5, but officially on the Discord channel, I told you +3 for Colorado State. So that's the number I'm going to roll with here is Colorado State +3. You can buy the half a point to 3 if you want. You probably lay -130 juice on it, but I wouldn't mind getting to 3, having it one full possession. CSU this year, 14-15 ATS. Michigan, 13-18. Michigan on the road this year, 7-9 against the spread, 5-5 last 10. Same thing for Colorado State. This is the thing about Michigan. I didn't like the way they played down the stretch, okay? I didn't like it at all. Lost to Indiana in the tournament. Lost to Iowa by 11. Lost to Illinois by 8. Lost to Wisconsin by 14. Lost to Ohio State by 11. They stumbled down the stretch. Yeah, they beat Ohio State. Don't think they're very good. Yeah, they beat Michigan State by 17. Okay. Yeah, they beat Rutgers by 9. Decent win. I think this Colorado State team is highly underrated and extremely well coached. And I think they're going giant killing here. I think they're going giant hunting. I think they're going to slow tempo down. I think they're going to frustrate the holy heck out of Michigan. And I think if you're looking for upsets on your bracket, I think taking Colorado State to knock out Michigan, I'm going to be fading the Big Ten heavy here in the first part of the tournament. I'm not a huge fan of what this team looks like. According to KenPom, they've got this as a 1-point win for Colorado State up against Michigan at +3. You've got a 4-point window here of value. KenPom, I'm going to ride with KenPom here. I'm taking the +3. Colorado State +3 against Michigan, taking it for a half a unit. And one more bet to talk about for Thursday. Yes, I know that Creighton plays San Diego State. I'm going to wait and watch that number. I'm going to wait to watch and see where it goes. I don't really have a huge feel on that just about yet. Providence is the same thing. I'm going to wait and watch on Providence and wait and watch to see where that goes here for Providence. But I'm going to be on... I'll probably be on Providence as a dog. I'm going to get plus points on Providence. It's going to be crazy. How many points will I get for Creighton? +3, +4. I like Big East dogs. I'll jump on Creighton and Providence. Will I make it official? I don't know yet, but I haven't bet it yet. The last game for Thursday that I have bet is the total involving Murray State and San Francisco. The total is at 137. Let me just double check and see make sure it's 137.5 right now. I'll make sure which number I played. I believe I played 137.5, but I just want to make sure I'm giving you the accurate number. Yeah, 137.5. Okay, so this is interesting. So the numbers might lead you to believe to go against this 137.5. San Fran 16-16 to the over, even 10-8 in their conference over. Murray State 12-17, 8-12 in the conference, 6-11 against on the over on the road, 5-10. Here's the thing though. I think this number is too low. 148 and 128.5 last two games total wise for Murray State. Both games went over. For San Francisco, 132 against St. Mary's, over. 137.5 against Pacific, over. 158 for Gonzaga, over. 137.5 against San Diego, over. BYU was 144. That went under by 6 points. And Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference tournament was 154. That game went under by 2 points. I think this is an up and down game, and I think San Francisco is going to be comfortable going up and down with Murray State. It's 137, okay? 69-68 is what KenPom is projecting here on this. So that's right on the number, and I think you can play the over here. I think this is a tight game. It's a 1-point win for Murray State, according to KenPom. But I think these teams are going to move. I think these teams go up and down. And I think you're going to see a really fun game from the Ohio Valley Conference versus the West Coast Conference. I don't like these two teams playing against each other. I wish the committee wasn't sticking these two teams up against each other. Murray State's been unbelievable this year. They're 30-2. I'm betting the over. Over 137.5 for Murray State in San Francisco. I'm doing that for a half a unit. Okay? Before I give you the next 5 plays, it's time to talk about our friends at Omaha Steaks. Creighton Blue Jays are in the tournament, boys and girls. It's a great thing. Omaha is going to be looking at it. We talk about Omaha. We talk about me. I was there for many years. Still a very big diehard Blue Jay basketball fan. Juice. You go to omahasteaks.com. Juice. That promo code is back. A bunch of you took advantage of this the first time. So many of you took advantage of this that they came back and were like, we're doing it again. Let's go. The Omaha Steaks Sampler. You can get it today and you'll save 50% and you'll get 12 Omaha Steak Burgers for free with your order. This is very cool because they're bringing back for a limited time. Not only do they have this offer, juice in the search bar for omahasteaks.com, but the game day assortment package is there as well for the tournament when you're watching. And look, the weather is starting to get warm. Maybe not in Omaha, but in other parts of the country, in the South, in Vegas, in Florida, grilling season is here. This is a great time to get phenomenal Omaha steaks, the leader in gourmet steaks and food delivery since 1917. No one comes close to matching the flavor, tenderness, and the value of Omaha steaks. These are the best steaks you're ever going to order. Best steaks in your life, guaranteed. Okay, so here's what you're doing. omahasteaks.com. Enter juice in the search bar. Omaha Steaks, you can order the sampler today. You're going to save 50% on your order. Plus, you'll get 12 Omaha Steak Burgers for free with your order. This package has it all. Butcher cut filet mignon. You got your caramel apple tartlets. Every order is backed with their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Delivered safely to your doorstep. omahasteaks.com. Keyword juice in the search bar. Order today. And with this, the big tournament coming up, you got the game day assortment package for all your game day needs. Something for everyone. They've got Philly cheesesteak sirloin. They've got gourmet Franks in a blanket you can jump in on. Jumbo Franks, sweet potato fries, chocolate mousse, and caramel cups. All sorts of wonderful things that are there. You're going to love it watching hoops with that game day assortment package from Omaha Steaks. Check them out. Omaha Steaks. Get your order 50% off your order right now for the Omaha Sampler, and you get those 12 steak burgers for free with your order. Juice in the search bar. omahasteaks.com. Perfect. Right in time for the big tournament. All right. 5 more plays. Let's switch over and let's go to Friday. Can you believe this? 9. I'll give you 9 plays. I've never done this before for the juice. This is crazy. Again, all half units. Let's talk about the 18th. Let's go into a play that I like a lot. Loyola Chicago against Illinois. Against Ohio State, rather. It is a 10-7 matchup. Guess who's favored? The 10 seed's favored. The 10 seed is favored. Loyola's been a betting favorite, and the books have juiced their numbers a lot this season. 7-13-1 in the Valley this year, 9-8-1 on the road this year. Ohio State 6-8. You've got a team that's won 3 games in a row. They win the Missouri Valley Conference title to get into this and to get a 10 seed. You've got an Ohio State team that lost to Penn State, lost to Michigan, lost to Nebraska, lost to Maryland. Only win in the last 5 was against Michigan State. This Ohio State team is leaking oil in a big, big, big way. Number opened at 2. Ohio State money came in. Numbers down to 1. I am betting on Loyola Chicago. You knew where I was going with this. This should be no big surprise. 1-point win according to KenPom here. So pretty much on the number for what KenPom is projecting here. But I just think this Loyola Chicago team is so experienced. I think they'll dictate tempo. They're going to slow this game down. I think they're going to frustrate the holy heck out of Ohio State. I think this is a team, Ohio State wants to move. They want to go to the over. They're 18-12 this year to the over. They're 10-4 to the over this year. I think Loyola takes the air right out of the basketball. I think that's going to frustrate Ohio State. Ohio State's last 3 games have all gone over. Penn State, Michigan, Michigan State, way over. 12.5, 2.5, 9.5 for those games that have all gone over. Total for this game is 132.5. Still would lean to the under in this game, but I like Loyola here. I like their 3-point shooting. I like their ability to dictate tempo. I'm laying the 1 point. Loyola -1 against Ohio State for a half a unit. Second play on Friday. Let's talk about, let's see, where do I go with this? Let's go, I'm running through the picks. Let's talk about Chattanooga and Illinois. Number 7.5. This is a bad matchup for Illinois. I told you, I'm fading the Big Ten big time here. Chattanooga, 17-15 ATS, 10-9 ATS against the spread here. 13-18 Illinois, 1-4 ATS over their last 5, 3-7 over the last 10. Illinois lost to Indiana in the Big Ten tournament. Didn't cover against Iowa. Didn't cover against Penn State. Didn't cover against Ohio State. They did cover against Michigan and Michigan State, but didn't cover against Rutgers. Didn't cover against Northwestern. Didn't cover against Purdue. 7.5 points is heavy in my mind. All right. I think Illinois will win the game, although it won't shock me at all if Chattanooga gets and wins the game completely outright. I know analytically, Illinois has been somewhat of a darling. KenPom has liked Illinois a lot as a top 20 team. I'm not entirely sure I buy this. It is a 5-point victory for Illinois against Chattanooga. Plus 7.5 is too heavy. You get 2.5 points of value. I think Chattanooga, experienced, talented, athletic. Look out for Chattanooga. I think they're going to be in the game late. Illinois very well might win this game, but I think Chattanooga is live at plus 7.5. You can bet money line if you want, but I'm just taking Chattanooga to keep this game close at plus 7.5. Half a unit Chattanooga as up against Illinois. Third game on Friday. Let's talk about Colgate in Wisconsin. It's a very similar breakdown, a very similar situation. Wisconsin and Providence are the 2 teams that everyone's going to bet against. Okay. Everyone's going to bet. This is the luck factor. Okay. Colgate 17-15-1, but they're 14-7 ATS in their conference. Wisconsin 17-14, 11-10 in the Big Ten. They were 10-5 ATS against on the road though. Wisconsin very good on the road. 8-10 Colgate here on this. 6-4 over the last 10 for Colgate. 5-5 for Wisconsin. Number I got was 8. It's 7.5 at most books right now, but Colgate plus 8. This team beat Navy in the conference final by 16. They beat Lehigh by 20, Bucknell by 28. They are on a, let's see, how many games in a row has Colgate won? It's a ridiculous number. Colgate has now won 15 games in a row. Straight up 15 games. You know what that means is they're 23-11. They win 19-2 in their conference. They're going to hang. Okay. They're going to hang around. This number is 8. As I said, 7.5. It's too heavy. Okay. If Arkansas was -8, I might think about going with the dog, but they're not. They're 5.5 against Vermont. Same thing here with Colgate. They're 8. It's too heavy. Wisconsin, I think, could be in trouble. I did not like the way Wisconsin ended the year at all. They lost to Nebraska, for God's sakes. Yee. Michigan State lost. Nebraska lost. 2 really bad performances. They beat Purdue. That's good. Beat Rutgers. Impressive. Minnesota stinks. Beat Michigan. Beat Indiana. They lost to Rutgers. They lost to Illinois. But those last 2 losses at the end of the year, really scary stuff. Home loss to Nebraska. Neutral loss to Michigan State in the Big Ten title. Not what you want for a team that really could have had the outright victory in the Big Ten regular season at their grasps. Too many points. Colgate +8 for 0.5 unit. 2 more plays to get into on Thursday. And this one is, you guys are going to feel about this one the same way that I felt when I told you to bet Vermont -15. Duke, Cal State Fullerton. I bet 18. It's 17.5 at some books right now. Look, I went to the Big West final where Cal State Fullerton played against Long Beach. Long Beach is a better team. Long Beach couldn't get a last-second shot off, and so they lost by 1. Cal State Fullerton has a big, number 24, I forget his name, but he's good. NBA body, good player. Duke's going to swallow him whole. They're not going to get a rebound. Duke has bigs on bigs on bigs, and they're going to push around this team. The guards for Cal State Fullerton are not good, okay? Are not good. This is an absolute total ass kicking coming. Duke is going to win this game by 40. By 40. They're going to kill Cal State Fullerton. After watching Cal State Fullerton, again, Long Beach, if Long Beach was in this game, I would probably bet Long Beach at +18 because their guards, their backcourt scored half their points, and their backcourt was hitting clutch shots. They were getting to the rim, highly athletic, really quick, good players. No depth down low, no rebounding help whatsoever. That's why they lost the game. Cal State Fullerton kind of packed the lane, stopped allowing drives, stopped allowing kickouts for threes, and that's how they chipped away at the lead. They were down by 15 points at one point in the game. They came back and won. Cal State Fullerton is lucky to be in this tournament, and Cal State Fullerton's stay in this tournament will not be long. Bad guys are taking the points just because they see a back door. Duke pulls up. Duke takes the foot off the gas. I laid 18. Duke -18 for 0.5 unit. And the last bet here of our March Madness betting spectacular with 9 bets for you guys. Texas Tech and their game against Montana State. Total is 129.5. Let's talk about the total. So Texas Tech is 18-16 to the under. Montana State actually is 2 games over on the over. In conference, 13-10. Texas Tech, 11-10. Over the last 10 games, 7 went over for Montana State. 5 went over for Texas Tech. But Texas Tech away from home, 5-11 away from home. They scored at home. They played defense on the road. 12-8 for Montana State. But Texas Tech, look at these totals for Texas Tech, man. 125 against Oklahoma, neutral site, under by 14 points. 125.5 against Iowa State, neutral court, went under by 12.5. Gonzaga, 147.5, went under by 23.5 points. Tennessee, 137, went under by 28 points. The only game neutral court that went over for Texas Tech this year was Incarnate Word. 139 went over by 7 points. They won the game 84-62. Okay? I think Montana State's going to struggle to score. And I think Texas Tech's going to score about 65 points. Okay? I don't think we're going to see a incredible scoring output from Texas Tech. They make their living playing defense. They make their living really, rising up and doing, being very physical. And I think that's what they're going to try to do here against Montana State. Montana State's got some athletes, and they will try to push tempo at times if they can. But according to KenPom, 130 should be the total here on this one. Pretty much right on the number. I played under 129.5. I'm going to play the under. I think Montana State struggles to score. I do think Texas Tech will have a chance to cover, but it's a 15.5-point number, and the total is 129.5. Okay? Montana State will be in this game. If they're not, it's going under. Okay? If Texas Tech covers the 15.5 points, Texas Tech will win the game somewhere in the neighborhood of 65-45. Okay? That's what they're going to win the game by. And this game will go way under by 15 or so points. Half a unit under 129.5 for Texas Tech and Montana State. That was a lot. So we're 30 minutes in. We've never done a 30-minute version of the Daily Juice podcast, but here we are with a 30-minute podcast. To recap the plays, half a unit, 9 bets for you. Arkansas State minus 5.5. Colorado State plus 3. Bryant over 151.5. San Francisco over, what did I bet there? Hold on. I didn't write that down. Sorry. I think it's 129. Let me just make sure that I'm betting the right number. For Montana, for San Francisco and Murray State, we're going over 137.5. Okay, so let me write that down. 137.5 for that. Chattanooga plus 7.5. Loyola minus 1. Texas Tech under 129.5. Colgate plus 8. Duke minus 18. Hopefully those numbers haven't moved too much for you, but those are my first 9 bets for the NCAA tournament for March Madness here, which kicks off Tuesday. We'll make bets on Tuesday, make more bets on Wednesday. Steve Lutz is a friend of mine. He's the coach of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Psyched for him. He's in the tournament. First time trip for that team. Awesome for he's in the dance. So that's great. Rutgers, Indiana. Really fun game. Looking forward to that. So we'll watch that. We'll have more picks and plays on the tournament. But those are our first 9 plays for the NCAA tournament. If you like these plays, if you're going to trail, fade, or follow, Sweet C's, letter C, sweet, letter C, S, bakery.com. Help us raise money for the Ronald McDonald House. You guys get great cookies as well. $20, half goes to the charity. You pay for shipping if you want it, or you can go there in Illinois and pick it up if you want and don't pay shipping. If you live in the Illinois area, in the Chicagoland area, you can go and go website, see directions. You can go pick up the cookies, pay them $20, and bam, half goes to charity. No shipping costs for you. Everybody else, like us, we need shipping. They got to mail it to us, okay? You're paying for that because it's expensive to ship stuff all over the country, as we all know, okay? You can donate directly to the Ron McDonald House. People have asked me, can I just donate? Yeah, you can donate to your local chapter or national chapter. Just go ahead and do it in the name of the Daily Juice. Screenshot it and send it to me so I can track it and put it as part of the fundraiser so we can keep track and get to $5,000. Okay? Make sure you take advantage of the Omaha Steaks offer. omahasteaks.com. Juice in the promo code. 50% off the sampler. You get that. You get 12 free steak burgers as well when you make the order. You get burgers and cool things and beautiful steaks. Eat like kings during the tournament. Bracket challenge. Win $2,500 plus or in prizes, plus autographed swag and gear and fun stuff as well. BettingPros.com/bracket to get in. Did I miss anything else? My goodness gracious. My name is Matt Perrault. We will not do this again anytime soon. This was fun. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Fade, follow. Make sure you subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel. More to come on this, but I'm taking a break. What a day. What a weekend. Let's have some fun. The tournament's here. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.